Welcome back, guys, to my predictions for WWE Backlash 2025. Couple of things really quick. I'm really glad it's not what they used to do with Backlash, which is just a repeat of WrestleMania's match card. 5 matches on the card as of time of recording, and I think it's going to be quite a decent match card. Fairly, in my opinion at least, fairly easy to predict, so I'm going to try and throw in a couple of curveballs of what I think could happen. So let's start off with Dominic Mysterio versus Penta for the IC Championship. It's really sad that one of these two guys have to lose, simply because Penta still new on the roster, all of those kinds of things, want to keep him strong, all of that. But also Dominic Mysterio, I don't think when he won at WrestleMania, I don't think WWE was quite expecting the reaction he got. He's turning into one of the, I don't want to say faces of the company, I don't want to go that far, but he's turning into a very precious commodity for the company. Now, a couple of things could happen. We could be leading towards Dominic Mysterio versus Finn Balor at SummerSlam. El Grande Americano could somehow get involved. Of course, we all know that's not Chad Gable. I'm still salty that there wasn't an unmasking at Mania, but anyway. So a lot of different directions we could go with this, but the bottom line is Dominic Mysterio has to win this. What is the use of him losing? I know they took the championship off Braun Breaker to make that new faction with Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins, blah, 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 blah. I know that's what happened. But Dominic Mysterio still needs to at least win his first title defense. Does it need to be 100% clean? Absolutely not. I think some shenanigans for this match is absolutely needed. Now, I do think somehow, some way, Finn Balor will be involved, and this might be the final straw that breaks the camel's back that leads to Dominic Mysterio versus Finn Balor at SummerSlam. Next match, we've got Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight versus Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest. Now, Jacob Fatu, there's been not so subtle hints that there's distension in the troops between him and Solo Sikoa, especially with the promo Solo cut about him being the reason Jacob Fatu, blah, blah. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Somebody has to take the fall here, and I don't know who it is. Where are we going with this? Are we going towards maybe Drew versus Cody eventually? Because I do think that's a program that could be money. Are we going to Damian Priest versus LA Knight? Is Damian Priest or LA Knight taking the L because of the other one, and that's why Jacob Fatu wins, and that's why one of them takes the pin, and then we transition towards LA Knight versus Damian Priest? If LA Knight versus Damian Priest happen, who's the heel in that program? There's a lot of things to unpack with this one. But ultimately, I think Solo Sikoa might get involved somehow, some way. But ultimately, I do think Jacob Fatu absolutely must win. It's not even a conversation. He has to take the win. And looking at these 4 guys, I think LA Knight is unfortunately taking the pin. That's just what I'm thinking. And I think Damian Priest will cause him to take the pin, and then Jacob Fatu will win, and that's where we're heading with this. It's just my thoughts. Next, we've got Pat McAfee versus Gunther, wrestler versus commentator / wrestler, destroyer versus ex-football player. A lot of things in this match going on. But this one, if Gunther doesn't win, there's some shenanigans going on completely. I'm not saying it must be a squash. What I'm saying is Pat McAfee needs to put up a massive fight, and Gunther needs to be like, nah, I'm done playing, let me just destroy this fool. And then he absolutely needs to destroy Pat McAfee. So Pat McAfee has been saying some rather disparaging things about Gunther, and Gunther, he is the ultimate destroyer. He is that guy, and he needs to live up to his title of ultimate destroyer, and he needs to destroy Pat McAfee. Not a squash, but the last little bit of the match needs to be an absolute squash fest. Next, we've got Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Again, Becky turning heel, there must be a reason for that, and the reason for that is her to not just lose at her first opportunity at a championship. That would make absolutely zero sense at all. Where I'm thinking WWE is going with this, and I think Becky Lynch needs to win in a very heelish manner, by hook or by crook. She needs to win simply to underline this new heel character of hers. She needs to beat Lyra with any or by any means necessary. I think ultimately where this train is headed, it is going to be Bayley versus Becky Lynch at SummerSlam. That's where I think this train is headed. Now, could Bayley get involved? Yes, she could, but I do think this needs to be one of the few matches on this card where there's no shenanigans. It just needs to be Becky Lynch beating Lyra Valkyria absolutely by any means necessary. And by some shenanigans would keep Lyra looking strong, and it's sad that Lyra needs to win. She's pretty gold, but ultimately Becky Lynch versus Bayley, I think, is where this program is headed. Lastly, we've got John Cena versus Randy Orton. I know this match is incredibly polarizing. You've got some people that absolutely love that it's happening, and you've got some people that absolutely hate that this is happening. I'm on the side where I love that this is happening. I lived through the entire Ruthless Aggression era, PG era, everything. I obviously grew up. The first couple of years of my wrestling watching life was Golden Era, then New Generation, then Attitude Era. I was a teenager, absolutely loved that. Then Ruthless Aggression, you guys get the idea. So I grew up with always the feud between these two being John Cena the face, Randy Orton the heel. This is the first time it's opposite way around. Now, has John Cena always been the face? No, not necessarily. Has Randy Orton always been the heel? No, not necessarily. Sometimes the crowd had the roles reversed, but WWE ultimately still had them as those roles. Anyway, I digress. I'm so excited about this. Last time ever, and the roles are reversed, which I cannot be more excited for. Now, Randy Orton, he can take a loss. I mean, he's at that point in his career where a loss really, really doesn't hurt his character at all. He's universally just beloved by pretty much every wrestling fan in the world. Now, John Cena absolutely has to win, because why turn him heel? Why do all of this for him to just lose his first defense? It just makes no sense at all. But does he need to win clean? No, he's a heel. He's the ultimate bad guy. He's a super villain. He doesn't need to win clean. Absolutely not. I really hope Travis Scott doesn't get involved. Like, I sincerely hope Travis Scott is not involved in any way, shape, or form. The Rock, could he be involved? Sure, I'm cool with that. Why is R-Truth in all of this? I know we all know that John Cena is his childhood hero, but why is he involved? He's involved for one of two reasons, and two reasons only. He's involved so that look, R-Truth is universally beloved. He's involved for the reason that John Cena destroys him and we get more heel heat on John Cena, or he accidentally causes Randy Orton to take the L for Randy Orton to stay strong. But what I said already is Randy Orton doesn't need that. He doesn't need to be kept strong. He's Randy Orton. He doesn't need any of that. But ultimately, those are a couple of things I think could happen. But you know what? It's John Cena. He's the ultimate villain. He's taking the win, and it's as simple as that. So those are my predictions. Let me know in the comment section your predictions, and we can keep an eye on who's right, who's wrong, and just have some fun with it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Until next time, peace.